Welcome to my channel, Living Your Best Life, and I'm Cindy Smaha. Well, as you can see, I'm in the bathroom again, and what we're going to do today is we are going to cut this hair. It is just way too long, and the ends are just way too frizzy for me. And so I'm going to show you how I cut my hair. But before we get into all of that, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right next to it so you'll be notified of all my future uploads. I can't speak today. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So let me show you how I have prepped the bathroom in here for this. Okay, so here we are. I've got my dog clippers here. That's gonna shave up the back of my head, and I'll show you that. Here's my trimming razor here, so that'll trim the back of my hair. Then I've got my my comb, my shears, and then my thinning shears. And so I've cleaned everything off of the counter, and I've taped up a garbage bag. Now, what I've done with the garbage bag, I've cut it up both sides, but what I've done is, if you can see it right here, where is it? There it is. I left about 1/4 of an inch gap on each side, on the outsides, so that this little drawstring here will still be intact, and that will make more sense here in a moment. Okay, so now, as you can see, and you can see the back of my hair here, okay, I'm going to take those dog clippers that I have. I don't know why I'm calling those dog clippers. We never even called them dog clippers when I was growing up. But I'm going to take that and I'm going to shave up the back. This is my natural hair color, and I didn't realize I had blonded up the top a little bit, so I'll be getting rid of some of that as well. So now, also through the portion of this, I am probably going to speed it along, because this usually takes me about probably an hour and a half, depending on how picky I get and all that kind of stuff. So now this is where this fun thing comes in, and you'll be really glad you did this, trust me. This goes like this, and now all the hair is going to go here, so I don't have to worry about picking anything off the floor, because I'm basically lazy. So, and I'm cheap. I think you've sort of figured that out by now. Okay, so here we go. So hang with me. Uh-oh. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Alright, let me move over here just a little bit so I can see myself. There we go. Okay. Here we are. All right. So I don't know if you were able to see the back. I'm having a little trouble trying to get the video coverage over it. So this is basically the back. And so what I'm going to do, instead of messing with this, I always ask my husband to trim it up the back, and so he always does that, because that's a little more difficult. Okay, so now is the fun part that I'm going to be right back. I'm going to wet my hair, because I like to cut my hair when it's wet. That way it is just easier to cut. There's a lot less flyaways, and then I don't miss a lot of stuff. So hold on. Okay, so the hair is all wet, and my hair is the ends are pretty fried, but I don't want to cut it too short. I always begin in the front And then that's how I work my hair to the sides and the back. So let me make my first cut. The first cut is always the hardest. So I pull everything forward and I want to cut quite a bit off. So I'm going to cut it about the bridge of my nose. Here we go. And there we are. Lovely. That's the first cut. So not too horribly short, but it's also wet too. So now I also am going to cut it down. So I want to show you. Now this is the fun part where I'm going to work it in to the sides. So here we go. Okay. So I want to start off at an angle. That looks pretty good. Okay. See how that looks. I think I'm going to have to cut it a little bit more at an angle to line up the center there with the sides. Try not to cut your eyeball. Done this for a long time, and I always say that I always get a little divine intervention here because I'm praying the whole time, one, that I don't cut anything off, like an appendage or anything, or an ear. There we go. There we go. There, that looks good. Okay. I'm liking that. Okay. All right, so now I want to also get this to line up here. See what we've got here. May want to do a little bit shorter. So and just so you know, the thinning shears that I have there, I'm also going to be using to feather this out a little bit. So it's not going to be so harsh or anything like that. So now we're going to do the other side. And hopefully, if I did it right, they'll look like twins and not distant cousins. Okay. Just wanted to show you this. Let's see how that looks. I may have to go a little shorter. Let's see. So I couldn't quite catch that. Okay, so let's see how that looks there and there. Got some flyaways over here. Flyaways over here. See how that looks. That's like the hardest part out of all of this, is try to get my sideburns the right size. Yeah. Okay, lovely. Okay, so let's see. Okay. That needs to go. Okay, marvelous. Marvelous. Okay, so I think I've got that pretty well. Good. Let's see here again. This side. So this is all the damage that was done, which is quite a lot. And at the end, I decided to cut the ears out a little bit more than what I had originally thought, but that sure helps with the cleanup, because all I have to do now is take it off of here. And got a little bit of stuff on the outside, but that's it. Easy peasy. So, all right, I look a sight. So I'm going to jump in the shower, tone my hair a little bit because this is just a little too yellow for me, and I'll be right back with the finished style. Okay, here is the finished style. I am so thrilled. I think it turned out really well. I was able to keep a lot of the length so that I could still have it in a bob, because I really want to grow it out. Here's the back. I think I've got some stuff sticking up. I just blew dry my hair, but I am just so thrilled with the finish look. And how it's not frizzy. I don't know if you can see it, it's just not frizzy. I toned it down a little bit so it's not quite so honey blonde, but I am thrilled. I'm always amazed at the end of my haircut, that it's like it ended up great, which it always does. So I'm so grateful. Thank you, God. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And next week we are going to talk about foundation, how to pick out foundation, the right foundation for you. And we'll talk about primers too. So again, thank you for being with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Monday at 4. So you have a great week. Bye-bye.